Yo, oh, excuse me. I'm just testing a few things and then I'll switch over to Minecraft. Copy that. I should also test my audio now that I think about it. Okay, that should be good. And does... Oh no, that does not work. Okay, actually let me unmute this quickly. The delay is quite a bit longer. I mean, nothing too bad though, all things considered. Okay, I'm just loading up the game, then I'll switch over to... anyone... Oh. And then transition. There we go. And it seems like my connection quality, yeah, it's still perfectly fine. Because I'm streaming at 18K bit rate. Or kilobytes, or kilobits per second rather. But yeah, like, I figured I would try this out anyway, because why not? Then, as far as, like, actually doing stuff, probably just do some miscellaneous work. Actually, one second. Okay, it does have all the quality options still. Probably don't need to be replaying it back at 1440p for myself, but I don't have a data cap, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I don't need all this garbage on me. No, one second. There we go. Okay, actually, let me look into Discord quickly. I think it may only show if you're live if you use Twitch instead, which I mean isn't a huge deal. Yeah, I don't particularly care that it doesn't quite work the same, which is to be expected, I suppose. What was even? Oh, more scaffolding, that's right. I may only just have 20. Actually, I'm gonna turn this playback down to like 720 and do a full screen playback on my other monitor, just to make sure the quality is staying up to par. Down. Okay, and then I think I need to rethink my approach to this area a little bit, because I want this to be fairly natural. But right now, with the way... Well, I mean, that could potentially work. Let's grab some dirt and continue working on like a general layout of everything. Let me do this quickly as well. So if we grab some dirt, and by some dirt I mean quite a bit. Yeah, that should be enough for now. So what I was just thinking of would be to make this, 1 second, to just have another pillar like in the wall as well. That way it kind of makes a diamond here instead of just stopping like that. Wait a second, something's not quite right here. Oh. This isn't in quite the right spot. This should be... Actually, hold up. Yeah, it should be 1 over. Let's fix that now, I suppose. Okay, so for this, we'd have it like that, I believe. Yeah. I'll just put a torch there for now. Then for it to connect diagonally, we'd have to clear this out. And is it 3 or 4? It'd be 4. Oh, okay. So that's how that would connect. So this way, we'd only like go, like, yeah, I think that'd be a good way to handle it. So have this go down this way, like along this wall, then have a staircase that goes back up. Not necessarily back up, but into this cave. Actually, let's light that up now. So I don't have to deal with stuff spawning every time I walk over here. I do want to work with the cave as it is instead of just like building over it. Not sure what we'll do with it quite yet, but I'm sure we'll think of something as we like get back here with the build. I think stuff could spawn right there. And down here especially. Oh, and I probably should have talked about this, but like the main reason I'm trying YouTube instead of Twitch is it automatically has encoding options, or quality options rather. And it supports much higher quality. I figured I might as well make use of my 3080 with higher quality. I just need to make sure I don't keep missing all these jumps and whatnot. I'm pretty sure that's... I'm looking at the playback right now. I think it's just... I've grown used to 144 Hz, so 60 FPS looks not very smooth to me anymore. But I think it's good. I'm also only on... Oh, that was only 1080p as well. Okay. Oh, and then this is just another cave, and it connects back around to the Grand Cavern if we walk this way. But I think I will have like a second entrance to the base over here, because we can do a fairly similar design to what we do, or have done for the main entrance. It'd just be a little bit larger, and I would have more open area as well. Wait, does that go to the surface? No, I mean, like outside anyway. Like, is that the ocean? Because it may be. That might also just be an underground, or yeah, underground, like, aquifer. Oh, there's a creeper, don't care. There's another creeper. Well, I don't know if anyone else wants to even build over here. Did I go by? Yeah, I went by the exit. I'm considering lighting up this entire area just so stuff doesn't spawn. But like, if someone else wants to build here, I don't feel like putting all those torches down myself, because I'm pretty sure I probably lit up most of the spawn town caves. Oh, hello. Unknown loves Minecraft. I'm just doing a test stream on YouTube because I got a new graphics card and I wanted to test out the higher quality options streaming on YouTube allows compared to Twitch. Because like on Twitch, even when I max out, like it maxes out at like 1080p 60 FPS. And it doesn't really have the bitrate to properly support that either. I feel like YouTube does a better job with its bitrate limits for even higher quality options as well. And it automatically has like encoding, so people who don't have as good internet can just watch on a lower quality, which you need to be partnered for on Twitch. I just wonder when they're gonna allow higher like frames per second. Because I've gotten used to 144 FPS. So 60 FPS doesn't look quite as smooth as it used to, but it's still a lot better than 30 for sure. Then as far as like what I'm actually playing during the test stream, I'm just kind of planning out this build a little bit, but I have a lot of area to clear still. Oh, and I fell down. And another thing for like YouTube versus Twitch for me, like I'm already kind of established on YouTube. Granted, I took like a 4-year break, so I'm sure my sub box and all that's completely broken. I'm not really sure how the algorithm works, but I would imagine as I'm more active on YouTube, it would slowly get pushed to more people. At least that would logically make sense to me. Whether or not that's how it actually works, I have no idea. Compared to Twitch, where like not established whatsoever. Any existing people would have come from YouTube. And I'm just pacing around, not actually doing anything right now, I just realized. Could probably actually do something. So I like the idea of connecting it like that. What could potentially work as well as have multiple layers here, so have this continue downwards, and then connect directly to the lower level here, and maybe like dig that out a little bit more. And then have the upper part like loop back around so we have multiple entries to this other side. Then I also want it to continue going back a little bit more. I'm just not sure how much, because I think I've expanded it to the point where I might start running into other caves that I don't necessarily want to. Like over here, oh, I almost missed that jump. Over here I dug out a little bit more, but then I hit a cave. But it looks like we're good to keep going more west. I just can't really go directly up on the eastern side of it. But I think this is all solid rock for quite a, yeah, for at least a little bit here. And we should be good to keep going back as well. But not so much west. Because this is just, this cave's actually further west than another one. When we go down here, I've already kind of made a bounding box around this cave so we don't accidentally hit it. But actually, now that I think about it, we could go below it once we go down far enough. I'm just not sure. That's another thing I need to think about. How far down do I actually want to go? Because I don't want... Because right now we're not even too deep slate level, really. And we have to go below deep slate before we can go back in this way. What I'm thinking about now is, if we keep going down, we'll need some way... Well, not just some way, we'll need multiple ways to move vertically. And so far, really, the only thing I've thought about for that is, like, staircases or elevators in the walls themselves. And then, like, a central tower or something roughly here that also has, like, an elevator or something in it. But if we go down, like, another, say, like, 20 blocks or so, we'll probably need more than just one central area to get up and down. I guess we could make each of these more of a tower as well, and just have them be more like junction points, maybe? I don't know about that, though, because I do want stuff to be built into the walls. That will make actually building, like, storage systems and whatnot a lot easier compared to trying to fit them into towers. And I guess there's no reason I couldn't have, like, a bubble elevator, like, right there, I suppose. Or even within the towers, or the, like, pillars themselves. Lots to think about, though, for sure. Well, I also need to go get Elytra. You know what, that could be something interesting to do. Because I don't have too many ideas for building right now, so we could probably just go get an Elytra. Oh, I'm just dropping off the dirt. That's not where stone goes. And I probably don't need a stack and a half of torches to go to the end. Where's my other torches? Oh, there they are. Do I want to bring all my netherite stuff in? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. May as well. But I should probably clear out my chest a little bit. I don't need an Eye of Ender. I don't need an extra water bucket. I don't need that or charcoal. I don't need... I'll bring a carved pumpkin because that's useful for the server we're on. I just want to make room for, whatchamacallit? Shulker boxes as we get them. I'm just gonna throw all this stuff into a temporary chest for now. Like, up here. Oh, not quite. Okay, that looks good. Well, let's actually max out our steak as well. Do I have some over here? Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, let's just throw in another entire stack. Oh, I have more there. Let's actually move all this over, just to keep it in one spot. And for the Ender Dragon fight, let's bring some ladders. I don't need potions. And actually, what does it take to make a end crystal? And I think you need 4 of them to respawn the Ender Dragon as well. So 7 glass, a gas tier, and an Ender Pearl. Or Ender Eye, rather. So I do need that. And then I also need 3 more. Where's my gas tiers? 90% sure I have some of them. Okay, there we go. And then I need some blaze rods, which I know I have some somewhere. Oh, typing's hard. Well, there we go. And let's make the crystals. Don't need that. And we have extra wood. Yeah, I think all that should be good. Because you mentioned in the Discord chat we have that the Nether portal wasn't connecting back to the Spawn Town portal, which is a little bit annoying. Oh, let's not throw my netherite sword. That's never fun. Oh, I'm gonna need more ender pearls. Actually, no, I can just kill... yeah, I'm just gonna grab some ender pearls now. That way, if I get like hit off the platform, I can potentially teleport back up. Even though we do have some mercy data packs on to where if you fall into the void, you can technically get your stuff back still. It's just really annoying to do so. Where's those ender pearls? Oh, they're still in my box, okay. And I'll just make a sign later if I have to. Let's also potentially... Yeah, let's make some fireworks. I have quite a lot of gunpowder. Not sure how much sugarcane I have, though. It's looking like not much. And by not much, I mean none. Nice. That's bamboo. And isn't it like 3 fireworks per, so let's only bring like a quarter stack. That should be enough to get back. Nope. Okay. Nope. So how much sugarcane would that be? Because I think it's 3 paper per firework? Or is it just 1? I have no idea. I've not been playing this game enough lately. And I think there should be some sugarcane right over here, yeah. I should make my own farm, but kind of need a base to build farms, I would say, typically. Or it's better to make a base first and then build stuff around the base instead of just kind of going for it. Oh, it is just 1. Nice. Have some paper. Don't think I'm forgetting anything, but we'll see. We may be, we may not be. Hard to say. Where was the end portal again? I think we actually have 2 end portals now that I think about it. I can't say for sure. Also, I'm gonna go grab some more water now. Okay, that should be easy enough to do. Oh, that's another thing I need to test. How well the 3080 does streaming and recording. So I'm gonna just record for a little bit, just to see if the encoder keeps up. Just after his stuff. Okay. Oh, okay. The signs, they work. Let me actually get a maxed. Okay, not OneNote. Don't need OneNote open right now. I just opened up a full screen version of the stream just to make sure it doesn't like stutter. I guess I could also just play back later. Because having it open now is more stressful on the computer to play back another 1440p video. I mean, yeah, that looks fine. Actually, what is my GPU usage at right now? Let me open Task Manager. Oh, quite a bit actually. Oh, because I have some settings enabled that use CUDA cores and not just the encoding chip. Can I change those on the fly? Probably not, because that's messing with the... Oh, I can. I think max quality also uses CUDA. So if I disable both of those, is that... No, it's still going. I'll stop recording. Does that like half GPU usage? Not quite. I suppose I'm also playing the game, so that might be affecting it. So let's turn back on both of those options, because I suppose it doesn't matter unless I run into performance issues as well. Which for Minecraft and a 3080, I would hope I don't have performance issues. It would almost be impressive if I did. Okay, Lego. Oh, this is an awful spawn. Holy. I mean, it's a good spawn for post-dragon. Because it'd be very easy to go make a Enderman farm when you're already, like, I don't know, like 30 blocks away from the island. Although you would have to spawn-proof all that as well. I haven't fought the dragon in a while, but I mean, it's Minecraft. I'm not too concerned, really. Ah, someone was cheesing withers. Which I always find kind of odd to do. It's like, you don't just get a regen potion and strength potion. You don't need to cheese them. And I think you just put one on each corner, right? Or on each side, rather. Yeah, easy game. Probably a bit risky to, especially because that pillar is literally on the edge of the world, pretty much. But that's why we have a few ender pearls and whatnot. And we have infinity, so that's all good. Nice. Actually, I did not hit that one. Not nice. Actually, isn't the strategy... Let's take care of the cages first, and when we're off a cage... That's not quite good. Neither is that. But when we're on top of one with a cage, then we can shoot from that perspective to have a better angle. Even like just shoot from here so we can actually see it. Nice. Then that like floating head right there, that is someone's death marker. We get that first try. I'm just waiting for the dragon breath above us to disappear. That way, oh, never mind, we won't have to. Are we actually almost done? Oh, well, we have one more cage over that way, for sure. Just a little bit off. Let's actually go up because he's stuck at the center for now. Oh, never mind, now he's not. Okay, let's move. And just go to that cage so we have a little bit easier of a time. I probably shouldn't be moving as I try and take shots. I suppose it doesn't matter too much though. Then I think we have one or two left, or 2 or 3 left rather. Not too many. How does one die at the top of a pillar? Oh, you broke my ladder. So do we still have one up there or not? I can't quite tell. Probably should. Actually, it might be done. I'm a very bad shot, it turns out. Oh, we're over here now. Oh. Okay. I suppose I could have probably brought a strength potion, now that I think about it. And let's kill this Enderman before it gets too annoying. Where'd it go? Oh. What is going on with this game right now? There we go. So who brought grass into the end to make a shelter? Probably not quite the best block for that. Let's just eat up on steak, that way we do have regen going. Let's avoid the tail. Oh. And that is why you bring ender pearls, because I'm pretty sure that is not survivable even with other food. Where'd it go? Nope, not quite. That was just a lucky shot. And one or two more? Okay, one more. Actually, I want them to be fairly nearby. That way we can actually get EXP. Instead of having everything fly off the edge of the world. Why is he just chilling over there? Nope. Okay. I'll get it eventually, I swear. Maybe. There we go. Oh, dragon head. Nice. That did take quite a while. Well, I suppose that we really don't need... Oh, which way... Was that the new portal over there? Okay, it was. We'll head to that one just because it's most likely to have an end city nearby. Because I also want to make sure I find an end city that has at least a few extra... shulkers, because I do want to eventually make a shulker farm. That way we don't have to keep end busting to find more shulker shells. Honestly, nah, I should have slightly more. I don't really plan to use ender pearls to get around, but they are just nice to have. Especially, there's like no reason to farm them right now because once we make an enderman farm, it's going to be so much faster. Just making sure nothing's aggroed on me. Well, that is an awful spawn. Like, wow. I think right here is probably a bit closer. Can't wait for my shift key to give out, and then I go plummeting into the void. Honestly, the risk of the end well, it's most of what makes it interesting. At least for me. I usually really enjoy, like, risk versus reward. And the reward for going out into the end is Elytra, which is pretty significant. I think, like, 2 more blocks over, then we'll... Yeah. Now we go up, like, 2 more. 1 more. Why did that just show up? Kind of odd. And don't we just chuck an Ender Pearl into this? Hmm? Hello? I thought that was all you... Oh god. Let's not fight an Ender... Where did that guy even come from? What? I must have accidentally looked over at him. Okay, I think he fell into the void, so let's go again. Oh. Someone's already been here. And it looks like somebody was probably moving shulkers around. Or there's at least a flying machine here. I'm not sure if that necessarily means... I mean, it definitely means someone's been here. So maybe we went through the wrong portal. The idea, like, I don't think we would have hit one that someone else has already been at otherwise. But I could have swore I saw the, like, beacon effect at one we went through, but maybe not. Maybe they, like, all flash. So I suppose let's just run around for a bit. Although if somebody else already did a lot of end busting and got way too many Elytra for just themselves, we could be at this for a while, because once we have one Elytra, it's so much easier to find more. Because, like, now this gap is much easier to traverse if you can already fly. So this might take a while. Because I'm kind of limited to how far I can go. Well, I should update the title. Edit, because I'm not working on my base right now. Oh, that's too many characters. Elytra hunting. There we go. I honestly probably should go back. Because, I mean, there's a flying machine right there. I suppose no, why would someone have a flying machine go to a portal and then have it not be from that portal? Because us getting out of the end is kind of reliant on actually finding an Elytra. Because I plan to just, like, build up a huge pillar and, or, like, just use fireworks to go up and then glide back. So yeah, I suppose we have enough stuff, let's just go. Because we can always just mine some endstone to make more bridges and whatnot. Although I really don't like how there's signs of other people being here already. Because that means if there's an end city, someone probably already found it. Although I guess the end is expansive enough that it would be relatively easy to make a loop around one and miss it. If you're not, like, doing back and forth to make sure you don't miss anything. Oh shit. There's literally no way someone hasn't already been to that boat though. Yeah, the Dragon Head's already gone. Unless that counts as an entity block and it doesn't render in early. But I'm going to assume it's already been found. Because, like, let's just go up and see. Because there could also be... Well, I don't see any... like, bridges or anything, per se. Or, like, blocks outside. And there's still shulkers around. Well, I say shulkers, I see... Actually, this might be clear. But there's not a dragon head. So I think someone with an elytra may have just snagged up a ton of elytra. Which, like, I can understand doing that because having backups is always good, but at a certain point, it's... when you're on a server, you can't really do that unless you plan to sell them or something. Because, like, just too many people would need an elytra to, like, stockpile too many of them, because it does get progressively harder to find elytra as all the nearby end cities get taken up. And one of the data packs we used before was have an ender dragon kill drop an elytra. But the thing about that is I just don't feel like 4 gassed tiers is equal to an elytra. I can, even including the ender dragon fight itself, it's just not. An elytra is more valuable than that. But I also need to realize usually I want the game to be more difficult than other people. Typically, anyway. And I'm just gonna throw an ender pearl once we're close enough, which, yeah, it has to be fine, right? Yeah, easy. Well, let's at least get a few shulkers. That way we can store all of our loot into, like, shulker boxes and whatnot. Yeah, like... Wait, did we not get any shulker shells from 2 of them? Really? I mean, I know that's possible, but, like... Oof. RNG, please. Do we... Because it looks like the city itself has been largely untouched, which makes me think... Or, oh wait, no, I didn't kill it, it just teleported away. Okay. Let's wait for the levitation to wear off. Actually, we could hit that guy. There's a shulker shell. Oh, and we're levitating again. Nope. We've only gotten 1 shulker. I guess we've only technically killed 2 of them, I think. Which isn't a large sample size. Okay, that one teleported. Okay, we got 1 there. Let's let this run out. And, like, we do want to keep... Oh, that's annoying. And now we wait again. I don't see any chests, though. I also need to remember that I want to keep at least a few shulkers alive. So I'll probably only get, like, I don't know, like 10 boxes for now. That should be enough, because I don't really plan on doing any super elaborate storage system. Although we might have to, like, kill a ton of shulkers to get enough shulker shells. We've gotten, like, we have 2 boxes so far. We should be a little bit more careful than that. Just a tiny bit more. Then let's actually take a screenshot of this fortress just to have it saved directly so I don't have to, like, go back in the VOD. Actually, yeah, we can take out this guy. And then we'll just let this run out, because we have feather falling, so the damage is negligible. Okay, we're up to 3 boxes, oh boy. Well, let's check inside, and nothing there. And I see a few shulkers that are a bit more hard to get to, so we can probably rely on just leaving those as they are, as a way to make sure we have shulkers available to make a farm later. Oh, there's one right under me. Teleported. Okay, I almost feel like there has to be an elytra. Because none of... Like, well, I guess I haven't checked to see if it's looted, but... I feel like if the elytra was looted, they would have stopped at the city as well. They may have. Because I feel like that's a pretty empty chest, if they didn't. Free end chest as well. I feel like, did they make shulker shells more rare because you can farm them now? Almost feels like they had to have. But I feel like usually you get a ton more. I guess I could also be comparing it to rates when we had like the double shulker shell data pack, which I think that may like guarantee 2 shulker shells per shulker. It's just I didn't want to have that enabled when you can also infinitely farm them. Granted, the farms do take a bit of setup, but still, like, the rates on the farms would be insane if you got double shulker shells. No, it's a diamond sword, I'll take it. And another ender chest. Nope. Yeah, let's make sure we grab the shulker shells we do get. I also probably... No, like, the general end city loot is good enough to go for. Even if there isn't a elytra here. Speaking of, we should probably actually go to... Oh, there's still shulkers on it, so there's no way there's not an elytra there, right? Right? Oh, I'm gonna mess this up so bad. I mean, at least that's an easy recovery. Okay, let's just go for that. Easy game. Okay, I'm not too concerned about that one. Oh, the dragon head is just an entity, okay. This would be easier if we could see the guy that's shooting us. But here we are. I guess I could do this. Where'd he go? Oh, not bad. Easy game. I mean that's 6 or shulker boxes. I think we may just be done. I should take, or I'll put a few torches up here so if someone sees it, they know someone's already been here. You're spamming enchants at the, like we have a, like Mango's gold farm design set up. So it's really easy to spam enchantments. Might be a tube. I am not familiar enough with the entire enchanting system to know what that means, but yeah. I mean, it makes sense that Unbreaking 3 is one of the harder enchants to get, for sure. Well, what way goes back to spawn? Because I don't want to spend too much time out here. And also let's go up here so we have a good height advantage, because no reason to waste building blocks. Okay, so we want to go that way. We want to go mostly this way. Let's take off the elytra as we pillar up so we don't accidentally jump off. Let's put that there, and let's just go. Surely this won't possibly go wrong. I mean, my internet's stable enough, there's no way I fall down. Although, this is going to be awful stream content for a solid, like, 2 minutes or whatever. Just flying around a black void. Very good content. You only have to get to, like... I didn't actually get the coordinates of spawn, or, like, the spawn island or whatever you want to call it. I'm just assuming it's around 0, so... And also, let's just take another screenshot. I'm pretty sure I took one earlier, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, let's put this to, like, 0. Good enough. And give ourselves a little boost. And now we just kind of relax for a bit, because at 0, like, you don't gain altitude with it. But I think it's like 20 lateral blocks per 10 vertical. Or something like that. And as long as we're above, I want to say like Y60, it should be fine. I'm going to be on the fireworks just in case though. I think we got the angle pretty good for just kind of eyeballing it. Hey, easy game. Yend has nothing on us. Yeah, okay. I don't know if my spawn is at my bed or if it got obstructed or reset at some point, so I'm gonna have a pumpkin out just in case. And be ready to dig underground / throw that on if need be, because The timer we have is the number of minutes spent continuously underground. Okay, no, we're good. But that resets if you go above ground during daytime or at night without a pumpkin on your head. Which is a little bit convoluted, but we wanted some way to peek above ground every now and then. I'm just gonna chuck all this random garbage in a chest for now. Yeah, actually, I'll leave those in my ender chest. Oh, I need to go get more paper. Then let's just go on a enchant spree quickly. That should be good. I probably should have got more ender pearls while I was there because they will. I think ender pearls may even be more useful than elytra for this part of the cave system anyway. Well, maybe not. You can cover a lot of ground really quickly with elytra. Doesn't matter too much though. Is the mending book still in my box? Okay, it is. Then I need to go grab some paper to make more books. To just spam enchant. Oh, I also need lapis. Yeah. I actually don't know how much lapis I actually have, is the thing. Because I haven't... And I always let people know when streaming, just as like a courteous thing to do. Like, I don't want them to go... like, watch a stream per se, just so they don't say anything, like, personal or whatever. One more up. I really need to make a better way to get around this place. I need to remember I can go up the water instead of going up the ladder. We may need to be doing a ton of enchanting, so 2 stacks should be good. Nope, almost got it. I'm also kind of surprised at how, like, just how well my internet's holding up. Actually, I shouldn't be. It's using, like, not even 20% of my total up bandwidth, so actually not surprising at all that it can hold up, because I think the cap is, like, I don't know, like, what is it? Like 75% of upload you want to use? Although that's for more of an extreme case. I also need to remember to mute game sounds once I get to the farm, because it's not pleasant sounding for sure. What's this email? There's just a bunch of piglin heads over there. I guess zombified piglin heads to be more specific, but still. I could probably, yeah, I can definitely make a better thumbnail for live streaming on YouTube as well, but yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter too much. Oh, let's mute game sounds now. I think it's specifically friendly creatures for minecarts, which is kind of odd when you think about it. Although I suppose friendly creature probably encapsulates everything that's not hostile but is an entity. So minecarts are an entity. Well, I mean they're not hostile, but they can kill you. With entity cramming anyway. We can also repair the rest of our stuff as well as we try and get unbreaking. So I figured I'd just get the farm going because there is an enchantment table in the farm. So I can get XP flowing in as we enchant spam. Oh, not quite. And let's actually throw mending on already. That way we can repair it. And bop. There we go. Don't need that. Then we're gonna disenchant all these anyway. Section, nope. Nope. Nope, I need to actually enchant it with a low level one. Fire aspect, nope. Knockback 2. I don't particularly like that enchantment on a sword because it makes it more difficult to deal with stuff, but let's just make it anyway, just to have it if we do eventually want it. Don't need any of those. Hey, there we go. That wasn't bad at all. Then let's just disenchant. Oh, that's not how you disenchant stuff. I accidentally disenchant the Unbreaking book. Unbreaking. Oh, gotta go the other way. And then let's just repair. Oh, it can't repair the bow. I mean, I do have a flame bow I'm gonna combine with it eventually, but not a huge priority. I guess we could fly directly back. We missed. Oh no. Where are we? Let's just make our way back. Hopefully. Okay, there we are. I do kind of feel like disenchanting stuff without any like resource requirement is a little OP because it lets you just enchant spam like that. When it used to be like you had to commit to using diamonds or whatever as you're enchanting stuff as part of the enchantment process. But now it's like you need one set of diamond stuff and then you enchant until you get the stuff you want pretty much. Like, sure, sometimes you get some of the enchants you want, but whenever you have a XP farm that is that fast, there's no reason to waste actual supplies. You just, like, go until you get exactly the enchants you want and disenchant otherwise. Because, like, you get level 30 in, like, 40 seconds or whatever. Okay, now what? I guess back to working on the base. Oh, that's... Actually, how bad is that title on YouTube itself? I feel like that may be a bit too long. Okay, on my channel page, okay, nah, that's fine. I would rather have more details that you can expand rather than not a very specific title that's just kind of bad. Why do I keep going up this way? I can go up the water. Well, that's another thing I want to test. How good or can you climb up glowberries? I don't remember. Oh, you can. Okay, yeah. Oh, can you grow them down indefinitely, though? That I'm not sure about, because I know glowberries have a max height. I mean, that'd be a very long vine, though, if you can't grow it down manually. Well, I guess let's put that there. What else from here? I want to save the bow for sure. Then let's just put this stuff back. We don't really need to have this stuff always on us. I'll put the clock back in the end chest. I think the rest of that is good to just leave here for now. But yeah, I don't need that much stuff. Now, I'm keeping this bow so we can combine it with this bow when it breaks, so we add flame to it and also repair the infinity aspect of it. And I'm not too worried about all the organization yet because probably should make an actual storage room before trying to sort stuff too much. Actually, how do I want to approach this? I think it's to the point where I just kind of have to start putting actual blocks down instead of just trying to plan it out too much. Because I think the more detail we add to what we have so far, the easier it's going to be to like fill in the gaps where I'm not sure, because it will actually start looking like something the more we actually build, versus just dirt scaffolding everywhere. But before we do that, I do kind of want to make the path out here. Which I think the way we'll do that is a mixture of like gravel and cobblestone. Some gravel's there, but I'll save it for now. Maybe andesite and stone as well. We want the cobblestone for slabs, though. And that should be good. Oh, shoot. Thanks for letting me know. So I did take a short break, then I must have forgot to turn it back. I even have OBS open right next to me, but somehow didn't notice. Is there a way I can make the playback a little bit larger so it's more in my peripheral vision? I don't see any sliders I can do. I guess I could just have another like window open and just like quarter screen it. So yeah, okay, that should work. And I'll just put that like here, just so the actual playback is larger. How long? Okay, now I'm curious how long it's been like that. Ooh, 15 minutes. Nice. That is why it's a test stream. And I think that will just be, it kind of comes down to getting in the habit of regularly checking the output. Okay, let's just put all these blocks on my hotbar so I can switch between them pretty easily. Oh, don't need to break that much. I mean, andesite's fine here, I would say. Actually, we could probably leave some moss as well. That way it's not all, like, super refined and whatnot. Maybe even put some slabs along the edge of it. I mean, yeah, that should be fine. Although it doesn't make much sense to have an azalea bush there, so let's remove that for now. And I do also want to replace some of the moss with grass. That way there's just more texture variation all around. Now let's actually do that. Because I want this to be a fairly rough path as well. I guess it'd be easier to just start out by removing all the moss blocks. Not all of them, but a good portion of them. As nice as insta-mining stone is, it can be a little bit annoying whenever trying to build. Okay, I think that's a good start. So let's just keep going back through and replacing more of the blocks and whatnot. How do I want to handle that corner? Because I feel like... Okay, I mean, that's good enough. I feel like it's a little bit cramped. Oh, yeah, we don't want that building. We want this to extend like back here. Then maybe that as well. And then I have no idea how we're going to connect it to other paths up here. I think someone's going to have... Yeah, it's going to connect somewhere around here, so we'll probably just loop it back around this, like, edge or cliff, whatever you want to call it. And once more builds pop up that way, probably have another fork of the path going this way. Well, around this way anyway. But I don't think anyone's building here yet. Yeah. Although I think someone was going to build back this way a while ago. I'm not too sure though. Oh, I mean, it looks like someone caved here at least. Oh, actually, can't you, like, infinitely fly if you spam jump fast enough on a server? Yeah, easy game. Oh, not if you go into a hole, though. But I think you can, like, just continually build up momentum with that, too. Right? Like, yeah, if you do, like, a sine wave and go up on the jump... this game's so well made. I mean, I guess it's more well made than a lot of games, to be sure, but it definitely has its quirks. Is that too much moss? Okay, let's get rid of the azalea bush there. And I may make another platform over here. I'm not too sure yet, though. I suppose that does kind of fit there. And I may also want to terraform the water here. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I feel like it may be too dark in some spots. I suppose it's good. I feel like that looks a little bit odd. But maybe it's just because of that. I don't want a solid block there, because then you could really easily jump up into the base. I guess I don't mind it being like that, because you can already jump up in multiple other spots. I just feel like that would make it too low. Maybe if we, like, move this back, that could also help. Okay, I like that enough for now. I still feel like that has to be too dark, but it's not. Oh, a zombie. Okay, I'm just trying to think of what I want to do next, and I think it may just be, like, at least start the rough outline of the interior. Or maybe farm some azalea leaves? How much bone meal do I even have, and where would it even be? Yeah, it'd be better to work on the interior, because then we can at least have, like, a proper storage system, which we really need. Let's just grab out a ton of stone for now. And make a few stone bricks. And just kinda make a few pillars. Let's go up higher than we were before. Because I do want these to be very large. And we'll also probably end up going down a bit, but this is just getting a rough idea. Actually, now that I think about it, we may not even want to go all the way up with stone bricks by itself. Okay, let me double check. Okay, we did just use solid stone bricks for those pillars, so we're probably good to do the same in here. Probably not the best use of food and HP doing this constantly, but whatever. I also didn't go up high enough. Let's do that now. Was that 2 more? Yep. Okay, and then we can actually probably do this entire pillar all at the same time. Be a little bit more time efficient with it. I have Elytra, there's no reason to fall all the way down. We can save a lot of HP just by, like, gliding at the very last part of it. Okay, and then that's good. Okay. then I think the pillars on this side will help a lot more because they're more out in the open. Even though we do have to dig down a little bit more, but it should be good enough for now. Just burning through. I mean, okay, we're not limited on supplies right now, though, to be fair. That's one more up, I believe. We didn't make the backside of that pillar, whatever. And there's a zombie villager in this one, so let's not build the backside either. Good enough. Okay, like 2 more blocks up, or 1 more now. Then let's just do this last pillar for now, and then we'll back up and like take another look to see if I want the pillars going all the way up or not. Because there's a chance that I may change it still. It's just kind of what we've been going with for the time being. Or so far anyway. I suppose this is why we dug out the entire area to actually have building supplies. Which, I want to say should last us a while, but we'll see. Nope. Not quite where we want. Oh, rip. I'll pick up that later. And then that is 1 higher than we want for now. I think it will help having them all at the same height for the initial, like, impression. Okay, I definitely feel like it can be higher, but let's go back up to see how limited we are on, like, vertical space for now. I want to say it's fairly limited. Because well, how far back does that go? Actually, we're good on the earlier part and to the west. But for here, we can pretty much go up this high and that's about it. But we can at least make the ceiling more domed there, which should help a lot. Not really domed, but just like arched, rather. Okay, just for spacing, let's see. Let's just keep this going for now. So we have a slab here, block, slab, block, slab. Then we have block, slab, and then probably a platform or something like right around here, give or take. So the final block would be here. So then let's build to center. Okay, then if that is center, I'm just trying to plan out spacing for another set of these type of pillars. So then let's just make a diagonal to the center, which would be this block. And then from there, we go back the other way. Now, I'm not going to worry about any elevation change yet because I haven't dug this part out yet. But, oh, this is going to be annoying. Let's go back to, well, actually, the outer pillar would be here anyway. Let's, I guess it would still be good to go all the way back. Which it connects at this block. And then I think from there it's a 3 diagonal, right? So it connects here and then that goes there, okay. And all this is doing is just getting a rough spacing for everything. It connects there, and then the pillars are like that. And does that all line up correctly? Okay, it does. And then from here, we have 1, 2, 3. And then pillar. Okay, now it's, I mean, hey, can we even see that from the back, or from the start? Oh, would help if I didn't jump off, but it is what it is. No, well, we can just barely see them. I think I like that spacing a lot more. And then as far as having, actually, how many blocks away is that? Oh, and we're down here. We need to make more, like, scaffolding and whatnot to get back up, so we don't have to come all the way back here. Because these pillars are only like 7 blocks, and we're back down. I guess we can get back up over here. Those blocks are only like 7, or those pillars are only like 7 blocks away, give or take. So I don't want the horizontal difference to be too much large. Actually, I think this might be perfect. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What is it here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 13 by 13. That's good. And then there will be a central like pillar or something in there. But we can maybe make like a tree. That could look potentially good. Then that goes up. We can't really have it go up more here, so I think we just go down. Or, let's actually think about this. If we have essentially 5 pillars, 1 in the center, 4 on the side, how do we want the primary elevation differences to go? Do we want it? I don't think we want it to be symmetric is the thing. I wonder if there's a way we could have like a split bridge to where it like does a little small curve going up and down. That could potentially look cool. And it would also make getting around a lot easier. I think instead of having everything be symmetric, it would be better to go with a lopsided design overall. To where we have this side be more open than the other side. Where like we could potentially have this have all like wall structures. But then a large gap over here to then head more naturally this way. Yeah, I think I like the sound of that more than symmetry. For now anyway. As soon as I start building it, I'll wish I went with symmetry. over having to build everything more organically. But for now, I think that should be good. And then down here, I want it to be more of a natural cave entrance, so let's just kind of carve that out a little bit more for now. I think 3 by 3-ish should be good. Because I want this to be open into like a little more like grotto type area, which will then have a redstone based way to connect back to the main base somehow. Not too sure yet. Now what I just thought was maybe we just leave it entirely open, but there's not an obvious way to get up to the base. So like down here, have it just be a bunch of water and grass. Yeah, like water, grass, vines, and all that type of stuff. And then have some hidden redstone button or whatever that makes like an elevator or walkway or something up here. Because I don't think it would necessarily be bad to see that there's a giant base there when there's a giant base right up here anyway. It's not like the most hidden of things, per se. I mean, it's actually not hidden whatsoever, in fact. Now that it's been going for a bit, let me actually check the stream quality. Just to be sure. I'm gonna mute game sounds quickly. And let's full screen this. Actually, I'm kind of quiet. Is there any way for me? I guess just like being closer to the mic would be the best way to fix that. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Oh, and we're down again. Okay, let me unmute game sounds, and that is all fine. Actually, how long have I been going for? Hour 40? I mean, that's not too bad. I need to plan out like arch. Well, I don't know if I want to do full arches or just have it be like pillar tops and then it go directly into like a cave with a more natural arch. I think... I'm not sure what would be better. I also don't know what I want to do for the like bridges yet. Because I want to do overly complicated mixture of like clearly man-made stuff versus more natural formation. So like this would be like more man-made, like jut out of a cave wall. I don't know if I want this to be like a tree root or something like that. I guess I already put that down, so this first set would probably be fine being like a stone bridge. But for other sets, it may be better to have it as... Oh, we're down again? Have it as like tree roots or whatnot, especially if we do like a central tree as like the center tower, pillar, whatever you want to call it, to get up and down more easily. Decisions. So I need to be drinking way more water. What to do? I like how my go-to for brainstorming is just pace around and look at it from different angles, which isn't the best, but I guess it could be worse. Just putting that away for now. Oh, let's actually go down to the cave below us. That way we get an idea for... I don't think we're limited horizontally by this cave. Actually maybe. I don't want to interfere with this at all. So it's like 460 minus 360, then minus like 50 for y. 460 minus 360. Okay. It was like, that juts out more than enough for us. This is definitely one of the larger challenges about building with the preview, or just in the larger caves in general, is that it's like, you can't really tell how everything connects easily. Oh, that's actually like right below us, pretty much. It was 460 minus 360. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit... Okay, so we can't go back in pretty much. We have to go with this cutoff, which isn't too bad. Honestly, that works well enough with having more like cliff-based stuff here. Because we'll just have this built on like a shelf, then have like a water feature coming down off that cliff to fill up the water feature down here. But we should be good down, or should be good to go down more this way. Which I think the way I'll structure this is like cave like this, and then... Oh, let's not fill that in quite yet. Then like a cave opens up more this way, give or take. Maybe even like more of an aggressive curve than that. Because we have a ton of space to work with over here. And that would also be a good way to connect it down to this entrance. Just having more open area lower, and then you see like an opening over here or something like that. Like I imagine we could have like the cave loop back around up this way. Like you see something up this way, not everything, like you get a peek of the main base, but you're not sure how to get up there. Until you find the secret redstone contraption, and then you get up. Or something like that. What's going on with this? Oh, okay, so I think it was just I was quiet for too long, so then it thought I was sending no audio. Interesting. Then, yeah, the audio should be fine. I'm also kind of curious where he moved the spawn portal to, so let's go check that out quickly. Because I don't think he could have really moved it too far, unless he moved it to like Upper Atlas or something. Or maybe he moved it in the Nether. That is another possibility. Hard to say, though. Actually, I would guess it's roughly where I see a name tag right now. We shall see. Oh. Well, this is a better spot. I suppose it doesn't make too much sense to move everything above the nether ceiling quite yet, because we already have tunnels and whatnot. Sure. That'd be an interesting way to get around using tridents. Then I believe there's a zombie and skeleton spawner here. That's how... converting skeletons to strays. Do converted drowns drop or can? I don't think they can, because I'm pretty sure a trident is in their inventory as they spawn. So I suppose they could potentially have, like... Oh, they do. Nice. So it just respawns a zombie whenever it converts to a drowned. That's interesting. We probably need to make a creeper farm. Or like a just general mob farm, which is going to be annoying because everyone's underground most of the time. But as we use Elytra, this does look really good. I imagine this was a lava pool before. Because I think if you went glass every block... Oh. Yeah, because if it was glass every block, then you just see straight through it. So it does have to be spaced like that. I wonder if you could alternate green glass or if it still works. No, I'm pretty sure transparent blocks just make everything transparent if it's still transparent, rather. Oh, that'd be interesting. I wonder if he gets creeper bombed now that I look up. I'm pretty sure, like, right there, yeah, stuff gets spawned there. Yeah, I think a piston door would work pretty well. That way you don't see the exact entrance to it. Because with a ladder and trapdoor, you can, like, you see there's a trapdoor and then the ladder, so, yeah. But I really need to get working on my base. It's kind of falling behind. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be too surprised. I'm trying to plan. Oh, I'm not typing well at all today. It is what it is, though. Granted, I haven't been, well, I've been typing some, but not too much lately. But, like, the next month or so, it's going to be typing non-stop, working on papers. What's this port? Oh, that spawn portal now. Can't believe I just walked out of that, then came right back and thought, and was effectively lost again. So I feel like my mic might be a little bit quiet. I'm gonna bump that up to 90 again. Recording. There we go. I typed lol twice. Rip. I also need, well, I guess we don't need a more proper animal farm, but it wouldn't hurt to make one. Also, just moving it out of the central area and making like a proper like town square or something like that. Instead of random farms just in the middle of the area. Because I like the idea of keeping the Atlas Pillar as like the message board effectively. It'd probably just look better if there wasn't just a ton of random stuff all around it as well. I keep forgetting there's a chicken pit somewhere around. Oh, right there. Is someone breaking torches? Why am I constantly finding dark spots? Did my video settings get reset? No, it's on 100%. Okay, I think I may just do a little bit more work here. Not sure how much more. That lava is in a dangerous area, now that I look at it. We'll probably end up making this a little bit larger to have it be more circular, so maybe go down another level. Because I think the general way I want to format the outside of here is like a grassy-ish path here, but whenever it's too steep, I leave that as stone. Oh, hello, devil gotcha. I'm not doing too much right now. I'm just kind of brainstorming what I want to do for my base up here. Yeah, this is more of just a test stream on YouTube, just to make sure everything runs well. I think since I already have a little bit more of an audience on YouTube, it'd make more sense to be here instead of Twitch. And also I like how YouTube supports better quality, and it has like quality options automatically. Whereas with Twitch, you have to be like a partner or have enough people watching to get quality options. Because I figured since I can stream at higher quality, I probably should. But the downside of that is if someone doesn't have good internet, then they can't watch it. So it's like, it's a trade-off. But not so much on YouTube, which is good. But so for this season, we're using the like preview data pack for the 1.18 caves and 1.17. So we're just building underground. And then this is my base so far. Still a lot of work to do on it, but I think it's coming together relatively well. I just have to actually make the base part of it, because right now everything's just kind of out here. But I have the door and all that working already. Which isn't necessarily the important part of it, but it works. And I'll probably make like just a temporary storage system over here, that way I can at least move all this stuff. It's really just out of place right now. And then other than that, for the actual like interior, it's just gonna be like pillars holding up, or like built into an hopefully a natural looking cave, where there will be these little like landing spots with 3 pillars each, and then some type of central pillar, tower, maybe a tree or something here. And the reason for that would just be like have an elevator or something hidden inside of it to move vertically more quickly. And then just another set of like these 3 sets of pillars back here. Then I'm not sure what I would do on the back wall. I'll get to that once I have the front part of the base more finished. And then over here, I want to more or less build with the natural cave that was already here that I hit. And then just kind of move back this way, and then we'll hit another like super large cave. Then I'll probably make another entrance to the base back here, in a similar style, maybe a bit more open than the other entrance. And then this connects to another like super massive cave as well, which has not been fully lit up yet, so building here could be an experience of constantly getting creeper bombed, but it will keep me on my toes, which could be fun, or not. I mean, it could initially be fun, but then get tiring really quickly. Then, actually, if we go down by this lava pillar over here, we'll hit another cave as well. Let's just be careful to not jump in the lava and lose my elytra. Did I go... No, I went down too far. How do I get back up? I guess just by building. Okay, here it is. Then I don't believe this cave has been properly lit up either. But it's also a lot smaller, so it's not too bad to work with. Yeah, like, nobody's building over in these two caves yet, so hopefully eventually people expand out this way. We'll see, though. Oh, and a skeleton spawned. Well, how do we get back up? Okay, there is a ladder for that block. Not really, which I kind of expected. Because that just kind of happens whenever you don't do anything on a YouTube channel, or you do hardly anything on a YouTube channel for like 4 years, give or take. Then you just kind of randomly come back. But I figure like the more I keep at it, it will get back into the swing of everything. I think it may also partially be my microphone, but yeah. But yeah, like, I would imagine after 4 years of not doing, like, anything on YouTube, my sub box, or, like, my content being pushed to sub box is probably just vanished effectively. But I would imagine the algorithm would eventually recover with consistent content, because last I looked into it, YouTube's algorithm really prefers consistency. Well, right now, not so much, because I'm more or less just testing streaming on YouTube out, but eventually probably do more active stuff. And I also want to do other at least stream other games, other than just Minecraft. So like in the near future, probably... Well, I don't have a release date for Group Iron Man on Old School RuneScape yet, but that could be fun. Because at least, well, streaming Old School RuneScape is an interesting thing because it's such a grindy game, it's not the most entertaining thing to watch, but I think at least early game stuff, it's active enough to stream. And then a Group Iron Man, like, there's a group dynamic to it as well, which should help a ton. But then other than that, probably some Dark Souls 3 and then Sekiro, leading up to Elden Ring in January of next year. But, like, I don't know how I'm gonna make 2 games stretch, like, effectively like 4 or 5 months, give or take. But, yeah. I guess I could always, oh, and Minecraft as well. I think Minecraft will be my, like, go-to game, and then I'll sprinkle in other stuff to just keep it more variety-based. I guess while I'm doing this, it could actually just be clearing out land. Oh yeah, like, Old School RuneScape is grindy as hell, like... Well, actually, let me check my total level right now. I don't quite remember what it is. I think it's like 2140-ish, maybe 2140 or 39. And I'm base 90s. So that took way too long. Let me actually just copy this quickly, because it's easier to just look at stats. Well, I think it just kind of comes down to discoverability on YouTube. Like, you kind of have to actively look for live streams. They're not really recommended too much, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, I'm kind of at that point where I just do random grinds in Old School RuneScape every now and then, but I kind of finished my main objective of getting a trimmed music cape. So now I'm just kind of doing random PVM, like Chambers of Xeric and Nightmare. Oh, you did? Maybe I I guess it's been a while since I've looked at, like, the YouTube algorithm. That's interesting. I almost wonder if they're shifting to pushing live streams more. I do feel like they're trying to be more competitive with Twitch. So there could be a shift with it. Oh, true. Like, I think as far as, like, playing on my main in old school RuneScape, I would keep it to, like, group content. So whenever I'm doing, like, duo bossing with a friend, instead of just, like, doing solo grinds, because the thing with that game is solo grinds, they just keep going. PvP in Minecraft, not really. Because I think my go-to PvP game right now would be Dark Souls 3, which is pretty dated at this point. It's just, I enjoy the build variety of it. Because, like, I never really got into Minecraft PvP. I've always been more building focused. Granted, I did take like a 4-year break, but yeah. But yeah, I would say Dark Souls would be my go-to for like PvP for now. Because I used to play For Honor, but to be fair, I haven't played it in like 3 years, so I don't know what the current state of the game is, but I just felt like it got to the point where updates were way too slow, that it just got really stale. So I just couldn't really keep up with it. Because, like, when they break your main character and then leave him broken for like 4 years, you just can't really play it. Which is why, like, I would prefer just like doing invasions or duel or like arena duels in Dark Souls 3 more than For Honor. Yeah, like, because the other thing about For Honor now, I feel like the only people who would still be playing it are the people who never stopped playing. So, like, if you try to get back into it, it would just be really rough. And just a mess, yeah. Also, I don't know if they ever did an MMR reset, so I'm not sure if I would still have my high MMR to try and get back into it, which would be awful. Then the other thing is they've added so many new characters since I stopped playing that I would have no idea what movesets are, and then that would be a mess. Yeah, like, I feel like For Honor was really, really good like the first year or two, when the majority of people had no idea what they were doing, and part of that was it wasn't, like, sure, it wasn't balanced very well, but because it wasn't balanced well, you could get away with doing stupid stuff, which is fun, instead of trying hard all the time. Like, my friend and I, we used to Lawbringer, like, just long-arm people chain to, like, ledges. Like, if it was 1v2, or I guess 2v1, we just keep running around each other, spamming long arm to get them to a ledge. Waste of time, but it was fun. Yeah. But now it's like, I feel like everybody's trying to play really optimally. True, in that, yeah. Because I think on a technical level, it would be better balanced now. But balance in the sense where the top, like, there's more top tier heroes, but they all have like just variations of the same moveset, which makes it really unfun to play in general. Because I'm pretty sure everything just kind of went to like chargeable unblockables, and I like, sure, I use, well, I guess with Highlander, it's not like a chargeable unblockable, it's just a 50-50, which I find is different than a chargeable unblockable. Because with chargeable and blockables, it's really like oppressive to play against, because if you don't have the timings down, they have to, like, they can just cancel and then react to what you do. Okay. Actually, while you're doing that, I need to get more water. Okay, I'm back. Nope. Okay, that's good. I said I was gonna start digging stuff out, but then I just kind of stopped. Rip. I mean, actually, like, I should be drinking way more water than I am right now. Especially because, like, my kitchen's right over there, so it takes like 2 seconds to get more water. Okay. I guess let's just start by expanding this part up. And I'll lower game sounds for now as well. Let's go to like 15%. God, there's water everywhere now. Oh, that goes up to the ocean. That's actually pretty interesting. Not that I would ever really want to go up there, but I'll keep a mental note that that is there for now, just by leaving it open. Oh, I guess I also scaled down my game sounds a bit as well. Like, the reason I say I wouldn't really ever want to go up there is we have a custom data pack on the server to count, like, the consecutive minutes spent underground, just as a way to try and get people to spend more time in the spawn town caves. So if I go up... I have no idea. So if I go above ground during the day, or at night without a pumpkin on my head, my timer resets. So, like, Mudbucket, he spent 6,106 minutes underground under those conditions. So I wouldn't want to go up to the ocean, or I guess above the ocean anyway, because then my timer could reset. Yeah, like, actually, it's been I haven't even went above ground since, like, the very start to get cows, now that I think about it. Oh, I mean, like, if it's a test, it'd probably be better to focus like, put all your focus on that, but I usually always have, like, some type of content, whether it be YouTube or Twitch or streams, videos, etc., whenever working on homework and whatnot, just going on in the background. And I did that all through undergrad and even now in grad school. Because I just feel like it's better than just sitting in silence. Well, I guess music would also work, but more dynamic is usually better. Oh, rip. Then I guess it depends on how comfortable you are with Spanish as well, because if you have it down, like, the exam is pretty much just like... Well, I guess I shouldn't go off my experience with Spanish in high school, because it was taught literally as a vocab class, which isn't good, because I recall absolutely nothing, well, not nothing, but effectively nothing from that class. That's fair. I guess whenever I have to, like, fully concentrate, I usually do just music, but if it's just, like, a typical assignment, then a video's fine. I mean, I didn't mind like the Spanish part of the class. I just minded that, or I just didn't like the class was taught purely as vocab. Because I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of like learning a language, because that's not how languages work. Like you need to know how to use the words and not just what words are. I mean, that's also fair. Like, the other thing is, part of the reason why I forgot, like, all the Spanish I did learn is because I very rarely, if ever, have needed to use it. Or, yeah, I don't think it ever even really came up in the past, like, 7 years. Which is a little unfortunate, because it is kind of wasted time in that sense, but yeah. Granted, I suppose a lot of the stuff I have learned, especially in undergrad, I haven't used too much. But at least I feel like in engineering, like a lot of the stuff you do learn is more or less just learning how to learn. And I suppose like a lot of the topics, even if you don't end up using them, knowing certain stuff helps at least learn other stuff, and then you'll use the future stuff more. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm in the Midwest US, so really not too much language variation here. Actually, do I need to move this back more? Probably not. I think this should be fine for now. Well, I guess, like, there are lots of people who do speak other languages because I'm on a university in grad school. It's just everybody knows English anyway, so I wouldn't really benefit too much from learning another language. Oh yeah, like, I couldn't imagine the number of Spanish speakers is very high there. And like, Spanish was the only language my school taught in high school, so I was kind of stuck with it. Oh, I'm out of inventory space. Which again, like, was an interesting enough language to learn. I just feel like the class itself was not great. Oh, yeah. Oh, fair enough. Because I feel like, yeah, there really wouldn't be very many French speakers, like, especially globally, because it's like France and then parts of Canada, and that's pretty much it. Oh, I just need more storage. Okay. Where's my wood? Let's actually use spruce, because it's easier to farm. Oh, missed him leaving. Rip. But yeah, like, I pretty much, well, English and a very tiny amount of Spanish for me, which isn't great. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just US education in a nutshell. But is that like primary language Spanish or French, or like secondary? I'm not too sure. Or is it more like a bilingual case? I'm just like digging out the area like this to have more of the natural cave structure already built in. Ah, yeah, okay. The more you know. Or I guess learn in this case, because I did not know that before. Is that gravel going to be an issue? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Okay, I think we just take all this down for now. Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense then. Then that's also like why parts of Canada primarily speak French, because it used to be a France colony. Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's just keep clearing this out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Quebec. I want to say they teach some French in most of Canada, but I think Quebec would be the only place where it's like people are generally fluent in French. Although, don't quote me on that because I'm in the US and not Canada. Okay, I think I'll probably call it after getting this down to the same level as over there. Just because it has been like, what, just about 2.5 hours, give or take? And like, I have pretty much no streaming schedule right now because it's kind of hard to schedule around grad school because stuff comes up and you have to do that first. Like, I mean, that homework assignment shouldn't take too long. I only have one right now. And actually, now that I think about it, does YouTube even give notifications like Twitch does whenever you go live? Or is it like the same as like ringing the bell for videos to where you get notifications that way? I'm really not too familiar with YouTube's like live streaming like functionality. Oh, thank you. I mean, like, to be fair, literally first stream on YouTube, so I would imagine it will pick up over time. Granted, like, it's not on a new YouTube channel, so there's already some subscribers, but oh, I'm actually kind of surprised I made that. Okay. Yeah. I actually wonder how long it takes for YouTube's algorithm to put me back into the system for my subscribers, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter too much, because I also want to do more variety, because before I kind of pigeonholed myself into doing just Minecraft. So I feel like doing variety right off the get-go would be better for the algorithm I want to have, so it's not so Minecraft, like, focused. But I feel like that's just the type of thing I'll have to, like, just do what I want, then look at the numbers in hindsight to see if I can do any analysis on it. So I'm not sure how publicly available that type of information would be. It's like, knowing how the YouTube algorithm works is very valuable. True, yeah. I mean, like, I could just stream Minecraft, but I would primarily want to do other content just for, like, my sake. Because the way I play Minecraft typically requires a lot of creative, like, thought. And if I'm, like, working on a project, like, all day, sometimes I'm just kinda, like, my brain's kinda tired by the time I would want to stream. Oh, thank you. So, like, in that case, it'd be easier to just, like, throw up, like, Dark Souls PvP instead of trying to build something creatively. Because I can play Dark Souls for hours on end because, like, it's kind of just muscle memory at this point. True, yeah. I mean, at least, like, once you have endgame gear, I almost find the grind kind of therapeutic in a sense. Because it's not like you're mining a block, mining a block, mining a block. You just kind of go like this and you're done. Oh, did I drop frames or not too sure? So that's another thing I'm testing out right now. Like, I just got a new graphics card, so I have all the, like, encoding settings maxed. True, yeah. Well, I think streams are a little bit different in terms of what makes good content, because there's a lot of different types of... Okay. There's a lot of different types of streams. Like, for the ones that are more, like, conversation-based, more grindy stuff is good, because then the streamer can, like, focus their attention on the conversation. And that's kind of how a lot of the old-school RuneScape streams work. Because the game's so grindy, it's very, like, personality-based. More so than, like, gameplay, per se. Granted, like, most of the top old-school RuneScape streamers are doing very challenging content on, like, hardcore Ironman, but it still becomes a grind at a certain point, so it's still very personality-based. Because it's very hard to have, like, a conversation-driven stream or a personality-driven stream while you're, like, constantly doing, like, very high-effort content, because then you can't be interacting with chat as much. I think a few people, like, not just a few, but a lot of people do a mixture between the two styles of streaming, which I think would be a good way to do it. Because, like, it can be very tiring to constantly be doing high-effort stuff. I mean, I did, like, before switching over to YouTube today, I was streaming on Twitch a bit, and did I link that in the description? I may have. How do I check my description in YouTube streaming? Oh, it is. Okay, it is there. So I did a playthrough of Dark Souls 1 on Twitch and Dark Souls 3. I'm not sure if I'll do more playthroughs of those. Yeah. Because, like, you can't really hold a conversation with someone when they're, like, super focused on PvP. It's just kind of a, like, trade-off. You either have, like, really high-activity content with, like, without much conversation, or you have lower-activity content with more. Okay, that's good. So I have a playthrough of Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3 there. I don't know if I'll do another playthrough on YouTube, but I think I'll do a playthrough of Sekiro, at least. No idea when that will be. Well, that should be closer to a blind playthrough, because I only did one playthrough of it on release. And no idea how much of it actually I remembered, but actually probably not much now that I think about it, so that could be an interesting playthrough. As far as, like, other Dark Souls content, it would primarily be PvP based, whether it be, like, solo hosting, duo hosting, or invasions. Maybe, like, arena duels as well. I guess I could also, like, grind New Game Pluses to, like, really get back into PvE for Elden Ring. I actually have never played a God of War game. Because, like, I'm kind of cautious about getting into games right now just because my time is a little bit limited. And I think it will be easier to judge how much time I have, like, in a month or so. Because it really depends on if I get these 2 journal papers finished up. But then again, in a month or so, classes will be picked up a lot into, like, the difficult portion of it instead of, like, the second week of classes. So it's just really hard to tell how much time you have. Yeah, I mean, grad school is an interesting thing. Because it can be very intense, just all around, in terms of, like, research and classes and pretty much everything about it. But it's really interesting as well, and, like, very rewarding. Yeah. And that's the other part about it, like, like, there's much less structure to grad school all around than undergrad. To where, like, it's very, like, as a student, you have to really be on top of your schedule. Because in a lot of ways, you make your own schedule. And if you're not good at scheduling, it's really easy to fall behind on, like, research and classes and pretty much everything. But it definitely keeps me busy, which is good. Like, I would say I overall enjoyed a lot more than undergrad, for sure. Ooh, yeah, 2 hours isn't quite enough. I'm actually kind of surprised at how well I've been able to keep up with, like, a proper, like, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Especially during grad school. Ooh, yeah. My schedule's never been quite that bad. I think the worst it was for a bit was staying up till, like, 2 a.m. fairly regularly, but that was when I had, like, no actual schedule whatsoever. I could just do stuff whenever. Still not great, but not too bad. And now it's pretty good, because it kind of has to be, because I have a few meetings in the mornings throughout the week. So, actually, no, I'm done with meetings for this week. I think so anyway, unless I missed one, but I'm pretty sure I'm good. I should probably check my calendar to be safe, but... no, I'm 90% sure I'm good. And we're down again. I really should make the storage system before digging everything out, but I guess it doesn't take too much time to just make more chests. Or, like, move stuff from chests, rather. Okay, I think this should be good. Actually, what time is it? Oh, it's almost 10 p.m., which isn't too bad. I do have, like, 6, I think. I just feel like whenever I'm gonna be moving stuff from here to, like, I don't know, like 50 blocks away tops, it's not too necessary to set them up for, like, transferring stuff over. But over longer distances, for sure, it's very worthwhile. True, yeah. Like, I think usually I go to sleep around, like, midnight or so, then get up at 8 a.m., give or take. I mean, very standard schedule, but it works. So, may as well just keep up with it. I should actually go back to the end to get more shulker shells. Well, I may try setting up a shulker farm. At least one of the more simple ones, even if it's not the fastest. Just to have, like, infinite shulkers. or shulker shells, rather. I guess it technically spawns infinite shulkers, which is how you get infinite shulker shells, but it's just so much more convenient than having to constantly find new end cities. Because I have an elytra now and netherite armor, so realistically I should never die. Like, the netherite will effectively save me from lava, and then the elytra save me from gravity, so pretty much invincible. Well, I think the main reason for that is just a lot easier to keep up with projects and whatnot on an SMP compared to single player. Because with single player, like, it's just so grindy to do anything, and like, you don't have any breaks, really. Like, you can't like go walk around and find new cool buildings that popped up because you're the only one building stuff. And that's why you have fireworks on you all the time. So I think realistically the only way I die is if I lag out in the end above the void and can't fly back up. Which, if that happens, it's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think I'll just leave this fairly rough for now, just because if I do need to smooth it out, that won't take too long at all. And leaving it rough for now makes it look more like a cave already. Which, we have a lot to go still. And even if that does happen, we have villager trades here, so I could just like go pick some pumpkins or whatever and go get a full set of diamond armor again. But it's really not too much of a concern. Like, getting the netherite again would be a pain, but that's like an hour of grinding, give or take. Oh, okay. Oh, hey Nate, how are you doing? Just figured I would test out streaming on YouTube now that I have a 3080, because YouTube supports just so much better quality than Twitch does. Oh, thank you. I mean, I would hope it would, because I have everything maxed out setting-wise, and I'm streaming at 8 or 18k kilobits per second. Compared to, like, Twitch's 6k, which, yeah, it's not even enough for, like, 1080p 60 FPS. So being able to run 1440p 60 FPS is amazing. And the best part about it is it automatically has quality options, so if somebody can't play back the 1440p 60 FPS, they can still watch the stream. Because that's one of the things I didn't like about Twitch, because, like, I really like having as good quality as possible, but that's kind of a downside on Twitch because it, like, it pretty much alienates some viewers because they physically cannot watch the stream. But that's not an issue here. And also, like, looking at what YouTube's been doing by, like, signing exclusivity deals with several large Twitch streamers, like, business-wise, they have to be working on something to make them more competitive. Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense to spend millions of dollars to get people on their platform, because otherwise they're just wasting money. So they have to be doing something. Oh yeah, like, I'm kind of lucky that my internet, I mean, like, I only have 100 symmetric, which is plenty for streaming, because, like, it's like, what, like 20 megabits up out of 100, which is fine. Oh, welcome back. Because I think I could also upgrade to gigabit internet here. It's just, like, realistically, it's not really worthwhile. It's relatively cheap to upgrade to it, but I just find that I would hardly ever actually make use of it, so it'd just kind of be throwing money away for the most part. Like, the important part about internet is more so, like, latency. And, and like the quality of the connection, not so much the speed. So if you already have like a good quality connection, you don't really need gigabit. Well, I'm just like talking about like streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch again. Yeah, like the way Twitch pretty much blocked ad blocker now is kind of infuriating because I use ad block for everything. But yeah, like since I have a good quality connection with low latency at like with only 100 up down, I don't see a need to pay extra to get gigabit because that wouldn't improve the quality of the connection, it would just improve the speed. So, and I very rarely need to download files large enough to where like 100 isn't enough. Although, gigabit is fun because I did have it for a bit in undergrad. And seeing big number is always good. Yeah, although... Actually, I think you can get extensions for, like, the better Twitch TV emotes. Granted, I never really use emotes too much on Twitch anyway, so that doesn't really matter to me much. But I do feel like in general, the chat quality is better on Twitch just because there's more of a chat culture on Twitch already. Whereas YouTube is a lot more of the user base is used to just like putting a video on and letting it play. But if YouTube pushes like their streaming or their platform as a streaming service more, that would probably change. And also, I feel like YouTube has better quality, like, core features. Like, their clipping system is better. Their VOD system is much, much better. The fact you can, like, go back, like, as you stream, it automatically creates the VOD, so you can go back to wherever you want, whenever you want. Oh, for sure. Like, bitrate is by far... Like, for streaming, latency doesn't matter whatsoever. Like, it technically improves your response time. Oh, did I just drop a few frames there? Or was that just a playback? It could have been an encoder overload, but I'm not too sure. Because I do have everything maxed out right now, which may be a bit much. Oh, welcome back. But yeah, like, as I was saying, latency doesn't matter too much for streaming, because, like, even like 100 milliseconds of delay wouldn't really be noticeable in a conversation. Whereas like bitrate is like that determines the quality entirely. Okay, it might have just been the playback lagging a little bit for me. Actually, do I have the playback going at 1440? I do. I probably don't need to be downloading my same stream at max quality. Let's put that at like 360, because why not? Oh yeah, for sure, like, latency is so much more important than raw speed for gaming. It's just like, for streaming it doesn't matter too much. And for gaming, like, you don't need fast speeds whatsoever. I think most games use like kilobits per second in the amount of data they need to send. Oh, that as well. Well, I think YouTube's entire, like, video pipeline, like, video and audio pipeline is just better. Just, like, everything about the video, like, even the video player is better, because Twitch's video player is awful. And its VOD system is even worse, somehow. Whereas, like, with YouTube, it has, like, all of the YouTube's video, like, encoder structure. Which is why I can stream at 1440p 60 FPS and it gets encoded to all the different quality options. And like, what's my delay at right now? That says 20 seconds, which seems a little bit high. I don't think it's quite that. Oh, I was not at the latest part. Yeah, it's at like 8 seconds right now. So to do all that encoding that quickly is insane. And I think if I were to stream at 1080p instead of 1440p, the delay would go down to like 5 seconds or so. I just feel like since I play at 1440p anyway, it makes more sense to like output that instead of having to downscale everything on my end. And also, the higher bit rate of streaming at 1440p helps with the quality of the other options as well. I'm pretty sure anyway. Like, sure, it gets rescaled and whatnot again, but it's still a higher bit rate. Oh, let's not break my pickaxe. That would probably be a good idea. You know what, that's good enough for now. I'm just gonna go repair my pickaxe and probably call it there. And try and just knock out an assignment today. Really? Well, yeah, like 2K bitrate is really low. So I think for 720p 30 FPS you want around like 3K, give or take. Actually, what does YouTube recommend? YouTube streaming settings. Okay, sounds good. I'm probably gonna call it in like 5 minutes as well. Just gonna go repair my pickaxe and probably call it after that. Yeah, for 720p 30 FPS you would want like 1.5K to 4K, so like 4K realistically. Ah, sounds good. Again, no idea when I'm actually going to be streaming. I may talk about like a very general schedule on Twitter. I don't really use Twitter too much, but other than that, just like, I guess ringing the bell or whatever on YouTube. And then you'll get a notification whenever I do go live again. Hey, sounds good. See you. Have a good day. Let's store all this. Yeah, like, Twitter is a thing. Like, it's good for memes, but if you try and do anything outside of that, it's not great. Oh, Denesto is still on the server. How much of the chat did I miss? Okay, not too much. So, okay, so Nate, when you say they wouldn't let you stream at 720p 30 FPS at 2K bitrate, do you just mean like it had really bad quality? Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, so it was an internet limitation, and with what you could stream at, it just wouldn't work well video-wise. It's like, whenever you have to stream with a low bitrate, you have to really use... Oh god, Magma Cube. My HP. Holy, that damage. Okay. But yeah, like whenever you're trying to stream at lower bitrate, you have to use like the more like hardware intensive encoder settings. So like that would probably come down to using like the CPU X264 like software encoder at like medium or lower whatever that option is called. Because that just does more processing on... I don't have feather falling on right now, so let's not jump down. But, like, it uses an insane amount of CPU to use those options. And actually, right now I'm just using the like hardware encoder on my 3080. I think it's comparable to like fast for the X264 option. Or encoder rather. Let's put that on. I'm really surprised at just how much damage those guys did to me. Like, I don't have a chestplate on, but it's still netherite armor. Okay, let's move all this around quickly. But like at a certain bit rate, you just don't have enough. Well, that's interesting that you would drop fewer frames on YouTube. Although, like, I think I have heard about issues where... Yeah, I think YouTube might just have more efficient, like, pipelines in general. Which makes sense, because, like, they have a ton more experience processing videos and all that. Because they've been doing it for, like, how many more years than everybody else at this point? And, like, even though I still watch plenty of Twitch, like, in the background, I feel like it's gone kind of to a stale point to where they really need competition. So I'm all for YouTube upping, like, really going at it and upping their game. Oh yeah, like a 1080 is perfectly good for the NVIDIA encoder. Yeah, I was running issues with my old 970s for encoding, which makes sense because it's a 970 that I've been running since, like, what, 2015, give or take, whenever they released. And I probably pushed them a bit too hard because, you know, a 970 is probably not meant to run a 1440p 144Hz monitor. And then you add 2 more of them. And it was really annoying because I got 2 970s back when SLI was still a thing. But then SLI just disappeared. So what I ended up doing was use one 970 for my main monitor and, like, games and whatnot. Then the other 970 for the side monitors. Okay, that's fair. Now, also, let me mute this. It's awful. And also bitrate depends on, it depends a lot on what you're doing. Oh, that just insta-killed him. Like, you only need the higher bit, like, the max threshold for bitrate whenever you're doing high, like, activity stuff. Or, like, stuff that's very noisy. So, like, Minecraft requires a ton of bitrate to look good because of how blocky and pixelated everything is. Like, Bedrock murders bitrate. It's so bad. Oh, everything's repaired already. I love this farm so much. It's so good. I'm so glad I spent, like, an entire day collecting magma for it. It was very worthwhile. Let's actually just fly out this way. I'll show you a Discord message. Oh, yeah, you were replying to me about junk drawers. Yeah, I got really lucky with this 3080 because I just refreshed Amazon and saw it's like, oh, gotta take that. Because I've been trying to get a new GPU for ages at this point. Why are there so many magma cubes? What the hell? Oh no. They do so much damage. It's actually... I'm gonna dig a safety hole in the back of that just so you can get out if they do start attacking you. But, like, I think I still paid, like, 1.4 times MSRP, but it was from an actual, like, retailer and not a scalper, so I just went with it anyway, because, like, my 970s were dying, and I went with an AMD CPU, so I need a graphics card to have a video output, so if my GPUs die on me, and I don't have a replacement one, I'm just kind of out of luck of a computer. Granted, I could, like, I still have my, old PC that I just run code on. So I could start using that again. It just feel really bad to go back to an i7 4770K from a Ryzen 7 5800X. Oh, I mean, that's fair. Like, I've had money set aside for like a new computer for like 2 years now. I just like kept putting it off, and then I couldn't buy most of the components last year. So I just had it all set aside, and then it just took a while to actually spend it. Because like usually, I think the way I'll approach computers is like set aside money as I'm able to. That way it's not as much of a like hit to the wallet whenever I do need to upgrade something. Because typically, especially for, well, I say typically, I've built one computer before the one I have now. But I think it's generally better to go for a higher end PC just because then you get a lot more use out of it. But I'm also, I would say, typically a lot more competitive than I need to be. So if I can't run stuff at high FPS, I get a little bit more annoyed. Oh, nice. Yeah, like, I think my 4770K only got up to like 4.3 gigahertz. And then my 5800X right now, I think I have an all-core overclock of 4.7, and then a single-core overclock of 4.95. But I also ordered new thermal compound that I'm gonna apply, and then try and go for 5 gigahertz single-core. Which, I mean, isn't too necessary because it already just is more than I need, but bigger number is better. Actually, I think last time I ran a benchmark, like with the 5800X, like a 4.7 core or all core overclock is like 97th percentile. So I really don't have too much room, or too much more room to improve it, but I'm gonna go for it. No reason not to. Oh wow, yeah, that's an amazing deal. Like $600 for an 8700K? Not bad at all. I mean, like, I would imagine an 8700, it probably was like $300 to $400 retail. So to spend like a little over half of just one component is very good. Actually, I can't remember if that was the generation of Intel CPUs that were lower in price, average, or higher. Because Intel CPU prices go all over the place. It's really odd. Because they used to be so much more expensive than AMD, but then AMD prices went up a lot. Yeah, that's always fair. Like, the main reason I spent so much on a NVIDIA GPU is I can use it for deep learning, which is a lot of what my research involves. I just have to go through the entire process of installing all the CUDA drivers. But then I can run all these complicated models on a local machine instead of having to use all the remote machines we have. Which just simplifies some processes, but actually I'll probably still primarily train on the remote machines, just because training can take a long time. But it's going to be fun to run all the stuff locally as well, also for personal projects and whatnot. And I also think I can use, yeah, this GPU should be really good for like Adobe Premiere as well. Granted, I don't do too much video editing nowadays, but it still occasionally comes up for different projects because having a video to show something running is always better than a PowerPoint. And having a well-edited video is much better. Oh, okay, yeah. That's the other thing about Intel. Like, their prices have, yeah, like their prices have been all over the place because AMD upped their game a lot recently, which is good because competition is always beneficial. Yeah, I mean, like, you don't really get too much benefit of higher core counts unless you're doing like more workstation type tasks. Because like most of the code I work with is in Python. So all like the 8 cores, 16 threads of my CPU right now really don't do much because most of the time Python is single thread only. Like you can technically parallelize it, but or parallelize it, whatever. But it's usually just not worth the hassle. And most of the more like intensive stuff that I use Python for uses a GPU anyway, so it's really not CPU intensive. But I think Adobe Premiere still uses a lot of CPU. Photoshop would be fairly CPU based. Games are CPU based, of course, but I think that's primarily single core. But I would rather have more than, well, within reason, more than necessary than run into bottlenecks and whatnot. It's just like I wasn't gonna get a 3090 and or like a 5950X. That's just way too much for what I need. But I mean, big numbers are fun, to be fair. Okay, it looked like I just stuttered again, but was that playback or was that the stream? I suppose another thing that could cause live stuttering is if the YouTube encoder needs to catch up. Okay, it looks like that was just the playback stuttering, so it may just be the encoder. So if you watch at the native resolution and quality, I would imagine that would happen less often. Oh yeah, like I haven't looked too much into it, but I think I read an article that they were pretty, yeah, like they're effectively as good as graphics cards for like low-end systems, which is insane. Like I'm sure their power draw is really high, especially for like a laptop, but I feel like that would be like a really good application of them because like you don't need all the extra space of a GPU. It's just a single chip. Like it wouldn't be good for like having a long battery life, but it'd be able to make a gaming laptop that's not a literal brick to carry around. Or they're pretty power efficient as well. Nice. Actually, what is my power draw right now? I probably don't want to know because I pay for electricity. Oh, it's only like 0.3 kilowatts. That's not too bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. I mean, honestly, other than just having a UPS for like my main computer finally, which I hadn't had one for a while, but I feel like if I'm spending this much on a computer, I should have a battery backup for it just in case. Especially with an M.2 SSD, don't need that losing power suddenly and corrupting everything. But my favorite part about it is having like a really accurate power draw meter effectively. That's insane. Is there like a mobile version of it? I mean, that's like with that low of a TDP, I imagine there's a mobile version of it. What was the TDP of a 5800X? I think it's like at least double that, right? Well, okay, almost. It's 105 watts. Wait, no, that's just... Oh, no, okay, no. That is 105. But that's still, like, impressively low for what it can do. Although I suppose a lot of... Like, it's not necessarily, like... Its performance is more due to its architecture more than its raw, like, performance because of the way graphics cards are made, or, like, APU. They just have the architecture to do the graphics math really efficiently. Like, when you get down into what, like, math the graphics card all does, it's insane. Like, right now I'm playing Minecraft, at 144 hertz at 2560 by 1440. Let me just grab my calculator. So 2560 by 1440. That is 1 divided by e or 6. That is 3.7 or just about 3.7 million pixels. But it's doing that 144 times a second. So every second, my graphics card right now is doing 530.8 million calculations, which is insane. Because every pixel has a calculation being done in like 3-dimensional space, and then that pixel is being projected to the actual screen. Oh yeah, that'd be really nice. Like, I would say the most interesting part about keeping up with like all the hardware advances, even if you don't necessarily use them, is just like looking at the progression over time. It's like looking at the jumps in performance in the last few generations of both CPUs and GPUs has been insane. Because I feel like for a while, there was like, it was very stagnant to where not much was happening generation to generation. But actually, I think it felt like for a while there was more of a focus on power efficiency more so than performance. But now it's going back to performance, which is really fun because those are the more exciting numbers to look at typically. I also like how half the stream has just been pacing around talking, which I mean isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because if I can do this in Minecraft, I could probably do some grinds in old school RuneScape as well, or just like other games in general. It's definitely more relaxed than like spazzing out trying to PvP or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of comes down to what people have as hobbies and what they do for work and whatnot. I'm just kind of in I would say a very fortunate spot to where, even though I don't necessarily work with the hardware much for my research, I do work with a lot of like, by work with hardware I mean like actually like building computers and whatnot. It's all like server based or cluster based or whatever. Like I still do like, all my code requires GPUs to run because it's deep learning. And then part of that is like, since it uses so much like hardware and whatnot to actually run that code, it's really interesting to look at what I can do on my end to run that type of stuff locally. Which, luckily for me, a 3080 is really good for. A 3090 would be better because of the VRAM, but I still should be able to get around 10 gigabytes of VRAM by just using smaller batch sizes. True, yeah. Like, I'll have, well, I mean, it's not, like, right now I'm also working with Raspberry Pis, which are interesting in their own sense because they're, like, essentially like microcomputers. You have to work around the smaller, like, the lower, like, capabilities of the machines, but, I mean, that's pretty much the extent of the hardware I work with directly. Actually, I think I'm just going to call it here, just because I was going to call it like half an hour ago, but just kind of kept going. So, again, no idea when I'll stream next, but yeah, I mean, eventually, probably, maybe, we'll see. Who knows? Actually, I'll wait for you to get back to actually call it then. And just dump all this stuff. Actually, I guess I did make decent progress on the actual base today. Between all the other rambling and whatnot. Oh, well. I was just about to say I was probably going to call it a night, just because I had planned on getting off like half an hour or so ago. Just because I kind of want to try and knock out some homework, but I mean, it's not too necessary. I might take a quick break and just keep going, finish digging this out. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll take like a 5-minute break and then I'll just keep digging stuff out and keep chatting. Okay, I'm back. No, okay, I mean like, I'll probably go into like 11 or so. Or maybe like 11 or 10:45, give or take. Because I don't have any, well... The first thing I have tomorrow is like at 11 or so. Actually, I might try and get groceries before that as well. But either way, like, I'm not like short on time for anything. Oh, not even full screened. That's why my FPS is all junk. It's weird just how much that optimizes FPS. I think it's probably because it puts more priority on the game itself whenever you are full screened. Actually, how much? I mean, this shouldn't. Well, the deep slate will take a lot longer to dig out, but that still shouldn't be too bad, all things considered. Oh, no worries. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do a few more streams on YouTube, but I think I'm leaning towards YouTube over Twitch for now. If anything, just for the fact I can stream at insane quality, but people with worse internet can still watch it because of the quality options. Like, sure, Twitch eventually gets to those, but you still can't stream as good of quality on Twitch. Because I think max bitrate's like 8,000, which is not even YouTube's limit for 1080p 60 FPS. I'm in grad school now, at least. But yeah, I'm like 24. I finished, well, undergrad in spring 2019, but then went directly into grad school after that. Well, that's good. I figured I would go directly into grad school now, just because I was in a position to where I can get it fully paid for. To where I do research. Well, for the first year I did teaching assistantship, but either way, like, the actual, like, tuition gets fully covered, which is really nice. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure most people are either around my age or younger as well. Oh yeah, I think Dinesto's around my age, Jeeves would be older, Russ is younger. I have no idea about Noxta. Know about? Actually, I really don't know. I think I was relatively inactive. Like, I was active season, what would it be, like 5 or so? But then I wasn't too active after that when a lot of other people joined. So I'm not too sure about anyone who joined in that time period. Granted, I think it may be a good idea to try and plan more, like, group events. Yeah. I mean, that's true, yeah. Actually, I haven't seen him in quite a while, but I also think he's going to college now, which, I mean, undergrad really does cut into free time a lot. I'm just kind of doing this to force myself not to go, like, too hard in grad school, because there's really, like, no set schedule, so you just kind of go at your own pace, which over the past year has been probably a bit too much. But it's also good to do as much as you can while in grad school, because you're essentially just building your portfolio as a researcher. So the more you do as you're building that, the better you'll be off later. It's just important to find a balance of just how much to do so you don't burn yourself out. Okay, let's just clear that back up a little bit more. Oh, rip. Oh, did not break that block. I mean, like, at least in engineering, my experience with a lot of the, like, required but not directly related courses, where they're just, like, building a more general knowledge base, which is good, even if you don't necessarily use it too often. And, like, even though, like, in mechanical engineering, I took a ton of, like, mechanical engineering classes that I hardly ever use now, it's just more, there's more of a focus on learning how to learn complicated topics than the topics themselves. And also, like, I hardly ever use fluids or well, actually, no, I don't really use any of that now. But I was gonna make a comparison to where, like, when you get into complicated fluid dynamics, a lot of the math is more or less using the same models that show up in circuitry. So even if you never really use fluids again, having just more experience with that type of model is always going to help work with that, even if it's in a different area. Granted, I don't really do that now either, but I still think it was overall valuable to just have more experience with more stuff. But that was also from an engineering perspective. when you have like and also like a very general engineering as well with mechanical. But if you're like in a more specific area, it's going to be much less applicable. Or it can be much less applicable. Like, what I'm doing right now is more like computer science. Well, the core work of it's more like computer science than engineering, but I'm still using like the engineering expertise to like influence decisions for the actual projects. It's just like the actual work isn't directly engineering, which is a little bit odd that it's still engineering, but it's not. But at the same time, I kind of like that it's like that, because it keeps it more dynamic to where I'm not like working on the same type of thing constantly. It's like constantly new stuff, which I mean should be expected for graduate school, but it's always nice to have that. True. Well, actually, what was my course credit or like course load like? I really did not have to take too many of like the random courses per se. Like I think I only had like, what would it be, like 5 credits, or not credits, but 5 classes of gen eds, which is like not even a semester worth of classes really. Well, just about like 1 semester worth of classes, so it wasn't too bad for me in engineering. But some colleges are really bad about gen eds, to where it's like just, not majority, but close to a majority of gen eds. And also, like, I feel like my gen ed requirements were fairly open to where I could take classes I was more interested in instead of having to take like truly random classes. Like I was still interested in the topic just to keep like the learning experience more dynamic. What did I just get? That was a new crafting recipe. What? Oh, deep slate iron probably. But, I mean, not the same, like, now in grad school, like, gen eds aren't a thing. Like, you just take very specialized classes for what you're working on. Which I really like, because everything I'm taking is very valuable to what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, now, yeah, like having to take higher level gen eds is always annoying just because if it's especially if it's in a different department, you can sometimes be expected to require stuff that you are required to know stuff that you would have no reason to actually know. Well, like I think for me it was fairly, like gen ed requirements were pretty low level for the most part. So it was more like take whatever topic you were more interested in instead of having to take like a random one. Nope, inventory is full again. Granted, like I also just in general really enjoy school. Part of the reason why I'm still in grad school, but so I may be also like just in general more open to taking the random classes and whatnot. Welcome back. Yeah, I don't know, like, I was going to stop streaming, but then I just kind of kept talking, so here we are. Although I should actually call it fairly soon. I think I'll just, like, finish clearing out this last part and call it after that. It would be a good spot to end anyway. Because I have to say, mining deep slate is much worse than stone. It's like, I can't just wave my mouse around and have a good time. Like, I have to actually wait for stuff to break. At least I'm not all the way down to, like, pure deep slate yet. Huh. I mean, like, I feel like disagreements like that are fine in more, like, open-ended college classes, but yeah, like, resorting to that's never good. But I also always find, like, discussions are generally interesting to have like that. Nope, see ya again, I suppose. Actually, how much do I want to clear that back? Probably not too much more than what it's at now, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's another, like, again, I feel like having, like, open discussions is generally good, but whenever it just kind of becomes, like, more of a targeted thing, it can be very difficult to navigate. Like, in a, like, productive way, anyway. Okay, I think that is good for now, so I'll just, like, clear out this last part. I have a lot. Well, not a lot, but a good amount to clear out still. Actually, not too bad. Oh, well, let's put down torches for sure. Also, I'm gonna make a few stone bricks quickly because I don't like how that's floating right now. Okay, everywhere else should be good. Yeah, also, like, whenever grading becomes non-objective, that's really bad. It's like, that should not, like, grading should always be as objective as possible to where there's, like, a rubric planned out ahead of time, and you just go strictly by that rubric. And, like, that's how I did it whenever I was grading reports and whatnot when I was a TA. And that's, like, one of the reasons why I would say in general English has always been, like, writing more subjective papers has always been one of my least favorite, like, courses or topics to work with. Is because, by their very nature, they almost have to be more subjective when it comes to grading. Unless, because, like, in engineering or whatever, like, whenever you have, like, a lab report, Sure, there's some subjectiveness to it in the way you present data, but for the most part, it's a very objective, like, topic. Like, you did an experiment, what were the results of that experiment? It's not like, oh, I didn't like how you wrote this one topic, so I took off some points. Nope, inventory's full again, rip. But, I mean, that, like, one inventory after this, and then we should be good. And also, yeah, like, the college experience can change a lot depending on where you go to. Ooh, yeah. That does not sound very fun at all, to say the least. Rip. I like I'm just like putting stuff randomly everywhere, which I guess I kind of have to do given what I'm working with. This is going to be a pain to organize later, because I have like a good 75% of my storage is just random types of stone. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, I'll make those pillars go down later. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing about colleges, or like, especially larger colleges. Your, like, experience with a class can vary insanely just based on the professor you have. Like, unless it's like a standardized course to where it's like a department set, like, syllabus, and then all the professors teach the same class, then it doesn't change too much depending on the professor you have. But when it's left up to the professors teaching the course, it can change a ton depending on who you get. Like, for some people, it could be like the easiest course ever where they learn a ton, and other people, it's like they're just left in the dark and have no idea what's going on most of the time. But I don't recall any standout bad professors. I mean, I certainly had, like, some that were better than others for sure, but I don't feel like any were bad. Which is really lucky considering I've been doing college for, like, 6 years now. Like, 4 undergrad and then 2 grad so far. Also, grad classes are so much more relaxed. Well, like, in terms of environment anyway. Like, topics-wise, much more intense, but, like, it's just more relaxed and whatnot. Okay, sounds good. I'm actually gonna call it as well. So, I'll see, like, whenever. Whether it's stream or, like, playing Minecraft again or whatever. So, yep, I'll see you later.